Hi, this is Richard C. I'm a math tutor here at Wyzant, answering a question submitted by a student. This is an application of the sum and difference formulas for sine and cosine. This is part of a standard pre-calculus course, and it's should be pretty straightforward. Let's see how just straightforward it is. First of all, I think we want to do some diagrams here. We have an angle called A. It's in the second quadrant because this is pi over 2 here, and here's pi here. So it's between pi over 2 and pi, so it's in the second quadrant. And so let's draw that angle A. And here we are. And the cosine is -1 over 4. Okay, so Pythagorean theorem gives us 16 minus 1 is 15. So this is going to be root 15 for the height here. And we have another angle called B. It's also in the second quadrant, see, because B is between pi over 2 and pi. So we'll fill that in, angle B. And let's put a little thing around them, make it a little easier to see it. Get that. Just want to redraw this so you can see it more clearly. So here we have a nice big B. Okay. And they're saying the sine of B is 2/3. So 2/3 opposite over hypotenuse. And here we had the cosine, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. So once again, Pythagorean theorem. So 9 minus 4 is 5. So it's going to be square root of 5. And keep in mind that that's a negative. Okay, so now we're pretty much set up, and we're just going to plug in to the sum and difference formulas, which is fairly straightforward. These are things that probably you're going to have to memorize for your class, especially if you're in a higher level. Sometimes the teachers will give you a sheet of formulas, and these might be on them, and sometimes they expect you to memorize it. So I'm just going to write these out. So the sine of A and B is just the sine A cosine B plus cosine B sine A. Okay, and now we just plug in. But you probably need to memorize that, which is why I put it in red. So the sine of A you can see is root 15 over 4. Cosine B is going to be negative root 5 over 3. And those get multiplied. And then we have cosine of B, which is negative root 5 over 3. Oh, sorry, that's sorry, I wrote that wrong. Excuse me. Let me fix that. That's a silly mistake. I'm glad I caught it early. So it's sine A cosine B plus cosine A sine B. Okay, so let's fix that. Okay. Okay, so now we'll finish this. So the cosine of A is going to be negative 1 over 4. Negative 1 over 4. Cosine of A, and then the sine of B is going to be 2/3. Okay, and then it's just a matter of putting that in your calculator and cleaning that up. So let's just double check it. Sine of A is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of B is adjacent. So adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine of A is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. Sine of B is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. So that all looks good. Let's do the other formula that we need. Do that in red. So this is the cosine of A minus B. And that's going to be cosine A, cosine B, plus sine A, sine B. That one's easier to remember, I guess. SIN. Okay. There we go. So cosine A, cosine B, plus sine A, sine B. Okay, so now we'll just plug this in, change colors to black. So the cosine of A is negative 1/4. Cosine of B is negative root 5 over 3 plus sine of A, which is going to be root 15 over 4. Sine of B is going to be 2/3. And that's it. Just do brackets here just to make sure there are no sign mistakes, no pun intended. Let me just double check it. Negative 1 over 4, negative root 5 over 3, and then root 15 over 4, 2 over 3. Yep, so that's it. That's all there is to it. So it's really not hard. I think the diagrams help a lot. I always advise students to draw diagrams. It really clarifies things. And obviously there's going to be a certain amount of memorization in pre-calc, mostly in the trigonometry sections of pre-calc, and you just have to sort of grit your teeth and get through it. Okay, that's it for this problem. I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.